Mr. Petrie, we are live.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready for them. They're ready to come back. They may not know that yet, but they're ready.
All right, the time is 6:01. I'd like to call today's Springfield Local Schools Board of Education regular meeting to order.
Roll call. Ms. Terry?
Here.
Mr. Ray?
Here.
Mr. Hofer?
Here.
Mr. Petrie?
Here. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 4, approval of minutes. It is recommended that the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 19th, 2022, and the special meeting of July 25th, 2022, Exhibit 1 and 1A.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes,
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
motion passes. Item 5, citizens' comments on agenda items. Citizens' comments on agenda items are welcome at this time. Participants shall be limited to 5-minute durations. Yes?
On agenda?
Is it about the agenda? Any items on the agenda?
Is about the parents and the schools.
Can we save it until at the end? This portion is for the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item 6, payment of bills monthly. It is recommended that the board approve payment of bills for the month of July pending audit. Exhibit 2.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes. Motion passes. Item 8, personnel. It is recommended,
7.
7.
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
That's
All
right.
right.
acceptance of financial reports, excuse me. It is recommended that the board accept the financial reports from the treasurer for July 2022, exhibits 3, 4, and 5.
So moved.
I'll second. Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Item passes. Item 8, personnel. It is recommended that the board accept, approve the following personnel items. 8.1, resignation. Accept the resignation of teacher Timothy Cole, effective the 2022-23 school year. 8.2, resignation. Accept the resignation of teacher Lindsay Ibos, effective 2022-23 school year. Resignation. Accept the irrevocable resignation of teacher Annie Knight, effective August 2nd, 2022. 8.4, resignation. Accept the resignation of teacher Shane Robinson, effective August 12th, 2022. 8.5, resignation. Accept the resignation of teacher Lisa Gray, effective the 2022-23 school year. 8.6, resignation. Accept the resignation of teacher Kendra Cox, effective the 2022-23 school year. 8.7, resignation. Accept the resignation of classified employee Jan Kidd, effective August 24th, 2022. 8.8, retirement resignation. Accept the retirement resignation of classified employee Yvonne Lewis, effective September 1st, 2022. 8.9, unpaid leave of absence. Approve the unpaid leave of absence for classified employee Julie Davis to begin once sick leave is exhausted for the remainder of the 2022-23 school year. 8.10, unpaid leave of absence. Approve the unpaid leave of absence for classified employee Christy Hawk for the 2022-23 school year. 8.11, employment. Reassign classified employee Melissa Arrington as a 7-hour cafeteria manager at Spring Hill Elementary, effective 2022-23 school year. 8.12, athletic supplemental contracts. Approve the following athletic supplemental contracts for the 2022-23 school year per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure. Aaron Smith, 8th grade football assistant coach, 4%. Kevin Lewis, 8th grade football assistant coach, 4%. Breslin Walker, varsity football assistant coach, 14%, revised from the June meeting. Steve Yashnik, varsity football assistant coach, 14%, revised from June meeting. 8.13, volunteer coach. Approve the following volunteer coach for the 2022-23 school year, pending proper licensure. Kevin Templeton, 8th grade football assistant coach. 8.14, non-sport supplemental contract. Approve the following non-sport supplemental contract for the 2022-23 school year per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure. Jacob Williams, instrumental music assistant, 6%. 8.15, employment. Reassign the following classified staff for the 2022-23 school year. Kathy Ray, 6.5 hour teaching assistant, kindergarten, support Zimmerman, Spring Hill Elementary. Jennifer Fenton, 6.5 hour teaching assistant, mod to severe, Wright Smethers, Schropp Intermediate. Vera Rogers, 6.75 hour teaching assistant, preschool unit, Springfield Preschool Center. Nancy Kennedy, 6.5 hour teaching assistant, mod to severe, Huntsman, Spring Hill Elementary. Meredith Williams, 6.5 hour teaching assistant, moderate to severe, Huntsman, Spring Hill Elementary. Charlene Sullivan, 6.5 hour teaching assistant, moderate to severe, Smethers, Schropp Intermediate. Vicki Kirby, 6.5 hour teaching assistant, moderate to severe, Pendergast, Spring Hill Elementary. Danielle Anderson, 2.5 hour teaching assistant, everyday reading, Spring Hill Elementary. Joanna Henshaw, 2.5 hour teaching assistant, everyday reading, Spring Hill Elementary. Tabitha Cunningham Radzik, 2.5 hour teaching assistant, everyday reading, Spring Hill Elementary. Amy Ternosky, 2.5 hour teaching assistant, everyday reading, Spring Hill Elementary.
So moved.
Second.
Just a couple of things. So for the resignations, that was 5 people that came off of our RIF list. For that, 3 of them have found new jobs and 2 of them left teaching to pursue other careers for that. And the last part that was just read about the reassigning of the classified staff, that's done every year. Per the negotiated agreement, our EAs get to bid on which classrooms that they want to work at. So that Dustin was kind enough to, and Christina was there monitoring that. So hopefully we've got some good changes here and it'll be good to go for the kiddos.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 9, Personnel 2, 9.1, Volunteer Coach. Approve the following volunteer coach for the 2022-23 school year, pending proper licensure. Miranda Terry, 7th, 8th grade, head volleyball coach.
So moved.
I'll second.
And this one, thank you, Miranda, for stepping up and doing this. Through ORC, it is appropriate and allowed for school board members to volunteer their time to work in the schools. So thank you.
Oops, I went too early. Mr. Hofer and Mr. Ray, correct?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola? Sorry.
Motion carried. Item 10, Service Agreement, Security Notice. Security Voice, I'm sorry. It is recommended that the board approve a service agreement with Security Voice Incorporated from July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2025 to provide the One Call Now service to deliver messages to students, families, and staff. Exhibit 6.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that. Quick question. Dustin, it lists 5 buildings, but I know in the future we'll go down to 4. That doesn't affect anything other than just listing our buildings, correct?
No, no, one of the 5 buildings is actually the bus garage, so there would be the
Ah,
5
okay.
buildings.
So we'll just sweep.
And this agreement, this is a continuation of our current broadcast call system, One Call Now. And this is a little bit cheaper than our last contract with them, not only because of the number of students has decreased with this, and it's a per student, they do not charge for staff members. It's a per student contract that we have, but the rate they charge us, they've also decreased that rate there as well. And we'll also be adding here this year utilization of the text feature that has gone through with this service. So we can, in addition to sending broadcast calls out to parents, we can also send broadcast texts out to staff and parents as well.
Yeah, texting seems to be a wave of the food sharing.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Petrie,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 11, service agreement, Neonet VoIP contract. It is recommended that the board approve a service contract with Neonet to provide IP telephony service for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
So, second.
This is also a continuation of an existing contract here for our telephone service. This provides the telephones in the offices, classrooms, as well as the voicemail service that we utilize.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Petrie.
Yes. Item passes. Item 12, service contract, Koinonia Enterprises LLC. It is recommended that the board approve the service contract with Koinonia Enterprises LLC to provide transition-based services for youth in the Springfield Local School District. Exhibit 8.
So moved.
Second.
This is also something that we've had the last few years. They work primarily with Mrs. Moretz's classroom, and they take the students out to different job sites in the community. And a couple of those job sites have employed some of our students long-term, so it's a very nice, worthwhile program for our kids to participate in.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Petrie.
Yes. Motion passes. Item 13, service agreement Envision. It is recommended that the board approve a service agreement with Envision to provide educational services for a student court placed at Christian Children's Home of Ohio. Exhibit 9.
I'll make a motion.
I found this on the web.
I'll second.
So this is just another one of those, sometimes our students end up in places outside of Springfield Township. So, you know, when we have students that are living in other school situations, we are still required to service their special education needs. So this is one of those cases.
Yeah, it was court ordered.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Petrie,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Item 14, motion passed. Item 14, revised school calendar. It is recommended that the board approve the revised 2022-23 school calendar, Exhibit 10.
So moved.
Second.
We just needed to change the conference times for Schwab on the calendar. So that was the only thing that was changed on it.
I didn't hear his second. Mr. Ray? Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Petrie,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 15, resolution providing complimentary passes. It is recommended that the board approve a resolution regarding complimentary passes and waiving payment of an entry fee to events for the 2022-23 school year. Exhibit 11.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, and this is every year the Board of Education provides complimentary passes to teachers and board members and other staff to attend sporting events for the fall and winter events.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Petrie,
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 16, photography agreement, visualizations photography. It is recommended that the board approve a photography agreement with Visualizations Photography as the official school photography studio to provide senior portraits, sports teams, and individual portraits, yearbook events, and graduation for the 2022-23 school year. There is no cost to the district. Exhibit 12.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
And this is just something that we do every year to figure out which photography we're going to be using for the schools.
How do we manage to get this with no cost?
So I can answer that.
That'd be good.
So-
No, good.
I was actually very, I looked into this only because I was having so many players of my volleyball team missing, pictures, and I was like, well, how are we gonna do a team picture? So they actually photographed them with a green screen behind them, and then they will merge them all together, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So I thought we would do that for my youth softball team. I reached out to ask them, how much would it cost, and they said they never charge to actually come out to wherever you are, that they make their money off of family members buying the portraits. They never, so we've already got it hopefully set up for our youth to start using this too, so.
Awesome.
I thought they're out of Cuyahoga Falls, so
That's good.
it was pretty neat. Including
Nice.
when you have so many people, we had band that was out,
Mm-hmm.
so they're all still able to have that team photo, and
Nice.
I thought
That's
it was
pretty neat.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yes,
Mr. Petrie,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 17, transportation to other schools. It is recommended that the board adopt the following resolution. Resolved that it is deemed to be unreasonable, uneconomical, and/or impractical under present conditions to provide transportation on our buses to the following schools: Lake Center Christian, Archbishop Hoban, St. Joseph, St. Vincent de Paul, St. Michael, Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, and Redeemer Christian School. Be it further resolved that parents of students attending said schools may qualify for an annual payment per child as prescribed by law, state average per pupil expended for transportation during the past year. Parents may so qualify by waiving transportation, making application for a D contract, signing same, performing according to the terms thereof, and submitting an invoice at the conclusion of the year. Exhibit 13.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so this is something every year, so what we do is we look at the different schools that our kids travel to, and either based on distance or the timing of the school or how many students go there, we deem to see which ones we're gonna do in lieu of, or which ones we are going to travel to. And sometimes this even changes throughout the year depending upon if times change. Sometimes in the private schools, they change their times and different things like that. So if it's something that we're able to do, we do. If not, we sign, like I said, in lieu of transportation for the students on that.
Which ones do we transport to?
Right now, we do transport to the one that you asked me about,
St. Francis de Sales?
St. Francis de Sales. And then we're also, Dustin, tell me if I'm wrong on this one, we're also looking maybe at Lake Center Christian.
Yeah, we're currently studying whether or not that will be feasible to transport to them as well.
Just because of the amount of students?
Yes,
In the rate.
yeah. So sometimes you gotta look at what the in lieu is going to be compared to what it's gonna cost to run the bus
Yeah.
for that.
Okay, answers my question.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes,
Mr. Petrie.
Yes. Item carried. Item 18, letter of intent, sale of Springfield Local School District Administrative Building. It is recommended that the board approve a resolution authorizing the superintendent to execute a letter of intent with the Development Finance Authority of Summit County and Reach Counseling Services, DBA, Reach Behavioral Health for the sale of the district-owned property located at 2410 Maslin Road, Akron, Ohio, 44312, to the Development Finance Authority for the sum of $400,000 and the subsequent sale of the property from the Development Finance Authority to Reach Counseling Services for the same amount, and subsequently authorizing the board president and treasurer to execute and any purchase agreement necessary to effectuate the sale of set forth in the letter of intent upon the terms and conditions set forth in the letter of intent, Exhibit 14.
So moved.
Second.
Who's second?
I do.
In this letter of intent, we will, laying out the sale of the property as we have planned to move the administration facilities to the Boyer Building as soon as we are able. This is a flexible letter of intent at this point. This also authorizes the future purchase agreement to be determined upon the date once we're able to get the remodeling done and move our staff out of that building. So those dates are not set in stone yet as we work through that process there, but this will start to formalize the process as we move toward that end.
That's a good move. I've always wanted to go down a building, and this facilitates that move rather.
Yeah, this will help us just be more responsible, fiscally responsible with our buildings, carry one less building and the utilities and costs that are associated with that, and move into space that we have currently. So.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes. Item passes. Item 19, rejection of competitive bids. It is recommended that the board approve a resolution rejecting all competitive bids received by the district for the administration building renovation project as a result of all bids received exceeding 10% of the estimated cost of the project.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
So our bid opening was last Friday for the renovation project. We received one bid that was, as the resolution says, in excess of 10% of the estimated cost. We are looking at that project overall with the architect. We actually met with him on site today to review the project as a whole and see where cost estimates and the market especially. I think we've all seen, prices of materials and services go up over the course of the last few months and to few years there. So we're seeing the effects of that on this project and working with the architect to get the project in line with our budget for that renovation so we can move forward here. This will necessitate another bid once the project, once he revises any of the project documents there, we will place the project out to bid again and accept bids at that time.
Good.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 20, student handbooks. It is recommended that the board approve the student handbooks for Schropp Intermediate and Spring Hill Elementary for the 2022-23 school year. Board members have received copies. Attachments, Schropp Handbook, Spring Hill Handbook.
So moved.
I'll second.
And this is just, again, the improvement of the handbooks for the elementaries. We did the high school last month, so, and one of our goals is we're gonna start trying to get where they're a little bit more consistent with each other for the parents, so it's not different every school year that they go to.
Yeah, it was a nice job cleaning it up this year, like
thank you.
Yeah, these are changes in yellow that we
Yes,
saw. were-
yes. So every
Nice.
day we're gonna, every year we'll be looking at that.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes. Motion carried. Item 21, Treasurer's Report.
Well, this is the month that we don't have any financials to present. We're just starting out the year. I want to give a shout out. I don't thank my staff enough. It's been quite a challenging year with the new accounting system and especially the new insurance system. Anytime you change your healthcare and your vision and your dental, it's going to be a positive thing for all of our employees, and it's going to be a positive thing for our district. Just how positive, I'll give a report, say, 4 to 6 months out as far as the financials are concerned. But we expect, if not this year, the following year we'll get the full impact of the savings, because we still have residual claims from the old policy. Now, we do have money set aside, about $340,000. That's based on what the auditor recommended, and so we're waiting on those residual payments. So I want to thank my staff. They're a good. We have a great group. I mean, they work hard. We work well together. We get along. That's huge. And but last but not least, if I don't see everybody at the first day, I want to welcome back our staff, our teachers, and our classified people, and for all the great work they do. As you all know, I have 2 daughters that are teachers, so I hear a lot at home, and these jobs aren't getting any easier. Hopefully they do in the future, but right now they're not, obviously. And we have a great staff, and I know, I've said this 1,000 times, I envy teachers and support staff. They get to work with kids, and although it's difficult at times, I know it's rewarding, and I know you make a big impact towards our kids' lives. So I hope you all have a great year. That's it.
Thank you. Item 22, Central Office Report.
Good evening. A few school safety related items. First off, we will be implementing at the start of school a visitor management system at each of our facilities. The visitor management system will require visitors to have their identification with them. That identification will be scanned, and then that information will be checked against the National Sex Offenders Registry there to alert staff if there's an issue there, as well as check against our student information system to alert them to any custody issues that there may be with that individual, or any custom alerts that we have entered in the system there. Once go through those checks, which will be very quick, automated through that process, the individual will be checked in, and a time expiring self-adhesive badge will be provided to the individual, especially if they're entering the academic areas of the building, so that they can be clearly identified that they've been checked in at the school office and verified there, and that badge will expire around the end of the day there, that they can't reuse that badge. They'll have to check in every day that they come in there, and that'll also give us an electronic log of visitors that unlike the current paper pencil that we have people sign in and have that available. And also we'll check out individuals as they leave the building, so we can have a current up-to-date log of what visitors are there. If there was an emergency, we can pull that remotely and give to the fire department or the police department as a list of visitors who were in the building at that time there. So I'm very glad to be implementing that system. I think that'll be a great piece of progress on our safety plan there. And then, as many of you have heard in the news, Spring Hill Elementary, Schrupp Intermediate, and the high school here all received a security grant from the state of Ohio that was recently awarded there. That'll be $50,000 in security enhancements, facility type security enhancements at each of those locations there. And we'll be meeting with committees from each of those buildings here this week to discuss priorities and how we will utilize those funds moving forward here and work on getting those items implemented as soon as possible. With transportation, I know I sent out route information last week, and we've been working with numerous individuals around the community, parents, and resolving issues as they're brought to our attention there, or attempting to resolve as many issues as we can there. And updated route information will be sent out on Monday, August 22nd, just to confirm that if stop times, sometimes making that one change in the route can put everybody's times off by a few minutes there. So we'll send final route information out on August 27th, just to confirm with everybody when and where their stops will be. And we also did include with that, with the minimum busing that we're doing, we also included emails out to parents that were not eligible for transportation, letting them know that as well. So they're trying to eliminate any confusion there, whether or not they would receive transportation. Also, I'd like to note that we have several support positions available for the start of the school year. Those are available on our website at springfieldspartans.org/jobs, as well as some of them have been posted on our Facebook page as well, postings there. So check those out if you are in the market for a job. We have positions available as teaching assistants in the cafeteria, student monitor positions, as well as looking for substitutes in all those positions as well there. So if you're interested in any of those things, please see that website again, springfieldspartans.org/jobs, which also has the postings as well as an application available there. And then finally, just to bring to your attention an upcoming community event. The Springfield Police Department's K-9 Committee will be hosting a auto show on the shore on Sunday, September 18th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. featuring antique cars, custom vehicles, street rods, and new vehicles. And of course, K-9 Officer Brody will be there as well. So mark your calendars for that.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk. What we are doing in the curriculum department right now is we are getting ready for the students to come back. Such an exciting time of year. We have teachers who are giving up parts of their summer vacation to come in and prep their classes already. And so you're seeing the transition of the school buildings from being just a building to being a home for our students. As they're working on that, as administrators, we're putting together the second day of school. After convocation happens on the first day of school, on the second day of school, we have a contractual 4 hours worth of professional development. We are offering what we call a symposium style or choice board of professional development on that day, where teachers will have opportunity to select from different sessions to attend that best fits their needs. Administrators will either be working individually or in teams in order to present, as well as we have some outside experts to come in and also support the professional development. So we will have that occurring on the second day of school for those 4 hours.
So
Thank you.
last, from my realm, while Mr. Boswell is handling all the technical things behind the scenes of the move to the preschool classrooms are at the Boyer Building in the new preschool center. There's a lot of stuff that still needs unpacked, but I gave a hard line of by next Tuesday afternoon, they will have all of their things in a classroom and put somewhat away. So we're super excited about that. And even my secretary, Mrs. Simber, is like, oh, I can't wait till the kids come. She's been working really hard. She took on a lot of responsibility that she's never done before. So she's learning how to enroll kids and make schedules and do all of the things that requires from the secretarial end. So we're ready there. And then in the special education world, we have a couple new classrooms or new teachers teaching new things in a couple different resource rooms, and then a couple teachers that are just teaching new content area. So I've met with some of them here in the last couple weeks, and we're all ready to start the year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 23, Superintendent's Report.
Thank you. First, I just want to thank the team. They are working very hard during these times. Not only is it the start of a new school year, but having a new person at the helm there. They're learning me, I'm learning them, and sometimes I might be a little bit different than other people. So they're learning my style and my some of my wacky ideas that I might have, so I do appreciate that, thank you. Tomorrow night, the Chamber, Springfield Lakemore Chamber of is hosting a free skating and pizza party for our students. All are welcome to come. It's gonna be from 6 to 8. We will be there, we're gonna have a table set up, and we're hoping that we can get as many kids as we come there to start off before school starts, so we're excited about that. Couple things about the bus routes. We know we've been getting some phone calls. We understand the hardships that this is causing families. We're trying to work with families with times and offering different types of solutions. If there are any problems, please either call myself or Mr. Boswell, and we will, work with you as best as we can. Some of our options might be limited, but we definitely want to make sure that we are helping the families as best as we could for that. Open enrollment. We know that we have a lot of people who have applied for open enrollment, and they're waiting patiently to hear when they're going to get the results back. It's really kind of difficult because we have to wait until we enroll. We're actually getting quite a few of Springfield residents enrolling. So our numbers are going up quickly every day. So as soon as we get a more accurate number, we will start responding to the open enrollment. We understand completely that school starts next week and people need paperwork or to make decisions, and we are processing them as fast as we can. Being that this is my first experience of working with open enrollment, one of the things that we're going to talk with the team are ways to make it a little bit more pleasurable next year and a little bit more expedient for our families. As of right now, our kindergarten enrollment, we are up to 107 students. So that is exciting. That's quite a bit. So we're going to be probably be adding another classroom for that. And we still have a lot of the kids still in the queue of final forms. So I'm pleading to any of the family members out there that if you have paperwork in final forms, to please finish that up so we can get a good count of how many kids we're having coming. But I'm really excited about that. And again, a month and 18 days on the job, and I cannot imagine myself any place different than where I'm at right now. So I just want to thank everybody for the warm welcome, and I am just looking forward to a great, great year. So thank you.
Thank you. Item 24, items worthy of your note. August 22nd, staff's first day convocation at 8 o'clock. August 24th, students' first day excluding kindergarten. August 30th, kindergarten's first day. August 30th, preschool first day. September 5, Labor Day, no school. September 20th, next regular Board of Education meeting, 6 p.m. right here in the community room. Item 25, citizens' comments. I know we have a citizen comment, and if you would come to the podium, state your name and your address, and let's see what we can do to help you.
Most of you already know me. I'm Amy Hurst. My address is 2664 Myersville Road. I come as a concerned parent and tax-paying resident of the district who wants the best for our children. We have concerns and questions about how our schools are being run and where our money is being spent. We feel the administration is not being as transparent as they are claiming to be with the information concerning the school's financial situation due to the large amount of time spent at the board meetings in executive session. It seems a lot of the decisions, or a lot is discussed behind closed doors, and very little information is being given to the public. The levy that we are told is needed so badly would have much better chances passing if township residents felt that they could trust the board and the administration, and that level of trust at the moment is sorely lacking. For example, a lot of us do not understand why the administration gave themselves a $999 stipend, which is basically a bonus, when the school is in such a bad financial situation with no explanation of why they feel they deserve the extra money while services are being taken away from our children that they claim to care about. Kids are losing busing. They are having programs taken away from them. Teachers are losing their jobs. And just wondering, so why do you feel that you deserve the $999? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. We've discussed things in executive session, I can tell you, because many times state law requires that we do so. Many of the discussions that we have are things that cannot be publicly announced. So in regards to employees, hiring and firing, discipline, salaries, some of those things just can't be discussed in open meeting. So those are the reasons that we go into executive session, and we always say whether there's gonna be action after the executive session, and if there's no action, then there was nothing actionable that was discussed. So, just an explanation for that. The stipends, we feel that our negotiations with our staff members brought us to the point where we had to do something as far as pay. Staff has been without a pay raise for years, and they deserve some consideration. Administrators are also staff members, and they have worked overly hard to make this district stay on its feet. And so, as a board, we are inclined to take care of our employees, and I know that things are being cut, but the minuscule amount that goes to administrators for a thank you for good service is not going to affect any of those programs. So, my response for that. Anybody else care to?
Yeah, I think it should be noted that also that our staff pays into, they co-pay for some of that insurance. So we looked at that as, we're going to new insurance, that we can afford to give some of that co-pay money back to the employees that fund it.
I used to sit in your seat every single month. I came here every single month before I got on this board. I used to get so angry that they were going to executive session. Why can't they discuss it in public? It was like one of those, like, can I just get on their shoulder and find out what they're discussing? I can say that most of the stuff that is discussed back there is exactly what they're talking. It can't be discussed right here on camera, anything like that. The decisions that are made are usually outlined in the next agenda or are announced. Does everybody always agree with it? No. There's times that we have, even in the short time that we've been here, that we've yelled and we've had some words and stuff like that. I came on the board and ran for the board to do what you want us to do and to do better with it for the kids. My kids are also students here. So anything that transparency, I will always try to be transparent. Sometimes it doesn't always come across that way, and sometimes I've come across rude and just point blank, but I've always tried to be transparent. I don't always understand all the decisions that are being made. I'm still learning, but I've always tried to get to the bottom of it. I've even gone to other districts and just been like, let me see it. Let me see how you guys do it. Not ask them, but just sit and, I mean, every school board meeting now seems to be on YouTube. So you can see how other school boards are doing it. But I think I know Ms. Frohl isn't here right now, but I know her heart is in it just as much. I can say that because the whole football team went out this weekend begging for money for those cards, and she handed a group $50 and bought one card. Those were $10. I know all of us will fight for those kids. It might not always seem like we're making the best decisions, but sometimes we're not allowed to make any other decision but what the state tells us to, and it sucks. It does. And I'm not gonna sit there and say the levy's gonna fix everything, but if we don't pass the levy, it's not getting better. It's not going to get better. I've posted on social media for years that if we didn't pass the levy, everything was going away. It's not a lie. It sucks so bad that we have to beg for people to help us with pay to play, with anything to get kids on busing. So I know where you're coming from. I've been in your seat, and I promise you that we are working harder. And if you have any questions, we might not always be able to give you the right answers or the answer that you want, but we will try as much as we can. That's all I have to say.
And with that said, anytime anybody has any questions, please call the office. We will get back to you within 24, 48 hours max. And like Ms. Terry just said, we will answer any questions that we possibly can. It's a new, we have a new board, new administration, new ways, and we're hoping to really make a difference. Because I don't think we would be in this if we didn't for that. So anytime you have any questions, please call.
Okay, item 26, board members informal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
My name is Nicole Rose. I live at 1019 Cromroy Road. I'm a mother of 5 children. I have one at the preschool, one at Spring Hill, one at Schropp, 2 at the high school. All of my kids, apart from my preschooler and my Schropp child, are receiving busing. My Schropp son will get out of school at 3:10. My Spring Hill child comes home at 3:22. That gives me 12 minutes to get from Schropp back home to get my special needs child off of the bus. So I'm kind of in a panic about what I'm going to do, because either I make the bus come to my house and nobody's there, or I make my Schropp child sit at Schropp and wait for, because he did this bus last year. It was supposed to be 325, sometimes it was 325, sometimes it was 350. I know things change, I know routes change, but I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. And gas is double what it was 2 years ago when you guys made this decision to cut the busing. I understand people are hard up for money. I voted for the levy. Everybody in my family voted for the levy that lived in the district. I made a point to go out. I think your people that are voting no are your people that don't have kids and don't care. Why should they vote? My parents live in Akron. They won't go vote for an Akron school levy. Why should they? They don't have kids in the district. I don't agree. But I'm in a problem with my children. I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. My 6-year-old gets off the bus. My 11-year-old's at Schropp. What do I do? My 6-year-old is diabetic. We try to keep him on the bus minimal because of his blood sugar. And that's the time route that I got was 3:22. Schropp's out at 3:10. I've never had a problem before because I've always had busing for all of them. But now I'm in a dilemma where somebody's going to wait every single day. And it's only going to get worse when the snow starts flying. So I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to do. I will always go out and vote for a levy. My youngest child is 4, my oldest is 15. I will stand behind the schools till the day I die. I will vote, I will do whatever, but I have a big problem, and I don't believe that the solution is keeping my 6-year-old on a bus longer, as I assume is what the solution is going to be, and I don't feel that's really a solution because one of my sons are going to have to suffer. Either one's going to have to sit on the bus longer, or one's going to have to sit at Schropp. And I can only imagine that the parent pickup line at Schropp is going to be a nightmare. Because I did it last year when he didn't have a bus, when bus routes weren't running. So I know I'm not the only unhappy parent about this, just not very many people are willing to come up here and say what they have to say. I'm in a dilemma, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and I don't want to make the staff at Schropp sit and wait, and I don't want to make the bus drive around waiting for me to get back from Schropp. So that's the dilemma I'm in, and I know I'm not the only parent that's in that dilemma. And I think that maybe there should be some thinking about bringing busing back and making other cuts somewhere somehow. And I can't get the question answered. If a levy passes in November, will busing come back next year?
I can tell you that if when the levy passes in November, I've been in contact with the state, and I'm going to see if we cannot get busing back the earliest or the latest in January.
I assumed it would be the next school year, but.
No.
Okay,
no.
well, yeah.
And I'm going to, and one of the things I have to question out is if if we can get the levy passed in November, to bring busing back in December.
And I mean, I'm willing
Yeah.
to do anything. I will knock on doors, whatever I can. If I have somebody
We
for
do
my
appreciate
kids.
that, yes.
If I have somebody to watch my kids, I'm willing to help. But I have a problem and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't have family to help. My husband works. I'm stuck and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have 7 days to figure it out. And I can pretty much bet that the first day buses are running are gonna be pretty late. So I don't know, it's like, do I sit at 3:22 and wait for the bus until 3:40 while my Schropp kid is sitting and waiting?
Right.
I mean, I live under the 2 miles, I get it, but it's not safe for my kid to walk to Schropp. There's all the way up Crumroy and down Pickle, no sidewalks. I mean, it's a big dilemma, and I know I'm not the only parent who has this. Mine isn't even a dilemma because I'm like missing work or anything. Mine's just a dilemma. I have too many kids spread out, and some have busing and some don't. So, and like I said, I know I'm not the only parent that's in this dilemma, and I went out and voted for your levy. I swear I did.
Well, we appreciate
Me
that.
and all my
Thank you.
family did. I did my part, and I always will because I'm a parent of the kids in the district, and I don't feel to take away. My son's on the football team. You know, I'm willing to help, but I have a dilemma that I'm not sure what to do that only you all can fix for me. So, but
If you would reach out to me, I can talk to you after the meeting,
sure.
or give me a call tomorrow, and
sure,
we'll
whatever
definitely
you prefer. I don't want
work
to
through
keep
the
you any later.
situation and
Sure.
try and find a solution for you.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you here late. I know it's late, but sure. Thank you.
Okay, have I overlooked anybody else? I apologize. Okay, item 26, board members informal.
Oh, I'll talk, because that's what I do. So school's about to start, and that means football's gonna come back, and if you can hear, we already have volleyball going on in the gym. I believe we've had some soccer scrimmages. I know we've had golf matches. If you haven't noticed, the golf is doing very well. So we came up with an idea with the help of a few people that it's time to bring back some of our Spartan spirit that has sadly died off or just been hidden under a rock for a little bit. Friday, August 26th is our home opener against Ashtabula, St. John, the Fighting something or others. I'm sorry, I forget what they're called. We're gonna have a tailgate party. It's the lot right out here is gonna open at 4:30 in the afternoon. And we are going to, hopefully if you're a DJ, maybe you can give me a call. Or we'll have Kevin Hanna out there with his own work that, sorry, you can't have practice that day, so. So far we have the Chamber, we have Lions Club, we have
Maybe the Rotary.
maybe the Rotary Club. I have the Springfield Police coming. We have the cheerleaders that are gonna paint on, face tattoos or whatever they plan on doing. We've got a couple of the other sports that are coming out. We have a food truck coming out. We might have the Booster Club might be doing snow cones and cotton candy and stuff. It's still in the mix. We're trying to keep it, nothing simple, but we're trying to keep it low key so that we have something to build up. So it is gonna start at 4:30 on Friday, August 26th. It's gonna be a beautiful night. The gods are gonna shine down on us. And then hopefully people will come and then go into the game and cheer on our team. I understand that some people don't have kids that maybe you can still come. We'd love to have the community support. Our hopes is to build this up. It becomes a tradition. Every single year, we have a tailgate party opening night. So please, if you can come. I will be sharing more information on social media and everything like that. If you're a business and you would like to participate, come on down. And I do believe Tees and Things have said that they would like to come. So we have that. So August 26th, 4:30 p.m. Oh, and you can bring your own girl because I signed a permit. And you can bring your own girl and you can cook out. But remember, you're on school grounds, so keep it nice and family atmosphere. Okay?
Is that not a Browns tailgate?
So yes, school grounds. And K9 Brody might be there. I'm still begging, so he'll make his rounds too. And I'm trying to get the Lakemore Police to get there. So that's all I have for right now.
I'll tell him you have to be there.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have to.
I figured they could talk about bus safety and pass out some stuff, so. That's all I
Lakeville will
have.
be there.
Yes.
All right, awesome.
I don't have anything really.
Awesome. I'll show up at the,
Oh, yes.
I'll be
Oh,
right
yeah, I know
back.
your wife will be there.
Well, she'll be there,
Doing
but
tickets, so.
I'll be flying in from work.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out the number of items and the number of discussed items regarding student safety in tonight's agenda, and just a reassurance to people in the district that we are trying to respond to the major concerns that everybody had at the end of last school year. And so the things that we are trying to get into place are with kids' best interest at heart, and we just want you to know that student safety is at the top of our list.
I just have one other thing too. I meant to thank our police departments for an unbelievably fantastic safety town that we had. The kids had a blast, and I think they learned a lot, and it was very exciting, and graduation was well attended, and it was a very great experience. So, and also too, I am starting a Twitter page for myself. If you go onto the website, you'll see my Twitter handle, I guess would be. So, you know, my goal is try to get as many things out there as we can so people could see. So please, once you get on it, follow it and then retweet, you know, the thing so everybody can see what we're doing in the schools.
Okay.
Can I say something? Sorry,
Okay.
just real quick.
Okay.
For a minute.
Okay.
Sorry, my son Dustin helped when I was doing that youth
Yeah,
volunteer thing. I know he was trying to get here, but they have practice. So I'm just gonna give a brief little thing what they're doing down there at the youth level, because that's what makes our community grow. So they had cleanup day on Sunday. They have power washed everything. They have totally redone the concession stand inside, the equipment shed, everything. Got rid of things that have been there since 2012. So they're really working hard to make the grounds look really nice for our schools. I think what we need to remember is that we also have people coming to tournaments at JED that are seeing our school, especially Schropp, our grounds, and it needs to look nice so that we get the respect that we deserve. They're also working with a lot of businesses to get not only donations, but donations as far as not money, but food for concessions, like Marco's Pizzas donating that for their concessions. Tito's is going to donate the chips and queso, which they've never done. You know, bringing a new cooler for Coke, from Coke. They're just really working hard to get that youth program built up, and I just want to give a shout out to them. So, sorry he couldn't make it, and I don't like to talk, so.
Thanks, June.
Thank you.
He'll be very proud of you.
Okay, item 27, executive session. It is recommended that the board go into executive session at this time to discuss specialized details of security arrangements where disclosure might reveal information that could be used for the purpose of committing or avoiding prosecution for a violation of the law and investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, or student unless such employee, official, or student requests a public meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Will there be any action after exec?
No, no
Okay.
action after executive
Okay.
session.
Mr. Petrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.